Good evening, everybody, or wherever you may be around the globe. So happy to have you here on If You Don't Like That, the lone NBA game, the finals of the NBA Cup. The Spurs lead the Knicks at the break 61 to 59. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk NFL? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? I want to let you know that I am appreciative of you. Thank you very much for being with me. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, one of my favorite guests, Susan Waldman, one of the radio announcers for the Yankees. She does a great job. She'll be on with me tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Some of the great stories that I've ever heard in all of my years of covering the world of sports. That's tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Fox Sports Radio, Sacramento. Kings off until Thursday. NFL last night, the Steelers get the win. We've got a couple of good games coming up this week. Going to be a lot of fun looking at the NFL schedule. Some really good games this week. Really good games. And it starts Thursday with the Rams and the Seahawks from Seattle. We don't know yet about Devontae Adams, but I just can't imagine him playing. I just can't. But Rams at Seahawks. Then you have the Eagles at Washington. Green Bay's at Chicago. Buffalo at Cleveland. Chargers are at Dallas. Tennessee hosts Kansas City. Cincy's at Miami. Jets are in New Orleans. Minnesota's at the Giants. Tampa travels to Carolina. Jacksonville is in Denver. Arizona home to Atlanta. Pittsburgh at Detroit. Vegas are at Houston. And then you have New England, Baltimore on Sunday night. San Francisco at the Colts on Monday night. Says De'Aaron Fox playing good game tonight. Yep. 8 assists. Does have 3 assists. Yes, I do think he'll come back strong. I think he'll come back stronger the following year, but yes, I do. Listen, I think it's great that he was on the field. They almost won. They kicked a go-ahead field goal with under 50 seconds left, and then the defense let him down. He didn't have a lot of zip on the ball. So we'll see what happens. He is going to start against the 49ers. Did I provide my top and bottom 5 NBA teams today on the show? No, I did it yesterday. Hit me up. What do you want to talk about? Susan is a fantastic listener. Thank you, Cody. She really is. She's phenomenal. Can't wait to have her on tomorrow at 4 o'clock. She's great. Really good. What about that Jacksonville-Denver game? I think it's going to be another good game. Really good game. I think it's one of the best games on the card, for the Broncos again. Seemingly, they're in a really big game of the week every week, and they keep on answering the test and passing the test, and they've got another one coming up this week. It's the NFL, right? But they're in the driver's seat right now to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. I did not think that was going to happen. I agree, Grant. I'm a Niners fan, so I was hoping that the Colts could have beaten the Seahawks. I don't think it's going to matter. I think the 49ers will handle them. I really do. My thoughts on the NBA and the replay center. How do both get wrong calls almost every night? So many camera angles and still can't get the calls wrong. Well, I don't agree with you. I've been to the replay center. I've worked some of the equipment that they use, and the rules are very clear. If it's not clear, if it's not conclusive, they're not going to overturn the call. And they have angles in the replay center that you don't. They have technology in the replay center that you don't get on television. And they're not going to overturn a call unless they're 100% certain. So I have a little bit of a different thought on that. Denver's been good, man. I mean, I've been a critic of theirs, but I can't anymore. They keep winning. They keep winning. Another close game should be. I would agree with you. I think it is. Jags kicker is great. Very true. I did catch the Sharks come back against the Penguins. It was unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. I'm always here. I'm never going anywhere. Don't worry about it. Will this be the Kings' worst season, surpassing 2008, 2009? Well, it depends on how you define the worst season. I asked Jerry Reynolds on the postgame show Sunday night if he thought this was the worst season in Sacramento Kings history. And he said, based on the talent that's on the team, he said yes. So I can't remember anything worse than this. You know, I am not going to say that I remember a team as bad as this year's team is. This team's a mess. You know, this team is a mess. I don't think Cody is surprised that Denver's in first place. He's been a proponent of Denver all year. I'll let him answer the question. I don't think he is. Didn't see if you mentioned, did you find out who was the guy who gave you the free 49ers ticket? I did not. I would have no way of knowing that. I would tell you he's not alive anymore. But he gave me a great thrill in my life. Next president? I don't think so. Hey, Chief. What's up, buddy? But next president? No. Sharks win was epic. Celebrini is too good. He's the real freaking deal. Guy's great. He is the real deal. You know? He's the real deal. Said, Jeff, I thought KC would be stronger, but I expected a wild card berth. Doug Christie needs to provide X's and O's during postgame. It's embarrassing. He keeps saying we need to play Sacramento basketball. I feel bad for him. It's terrible. Grant, my thoughts on the Packers. How far can they go without their biggest defensive star, without Parsons? I think they're done. I think they're done. I've had dogs. Currently don't have a dog. Our 14-year-old Bula we had to put down as she was diagnosed with cancer after an ultrasound at age 14. Anyone that's ever had to do that, it's one of the worst days you can have, as you would well know. Yep, for the talent they have, they shouldn't be this bad. Agree with you. Michigan Wolverines gave me the thrill of my life. I'm not sure how to take that. His rant did nothing for the team. No, it did not. If you're talking about Doug Christie, it did nothing. You're exactly right. It actually got worse, you know? They actually got worse. I mean, if you think about his rant against the media, they've become worse since then. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Listen, I'm sorry for the people that got killed on the campus of Brown. I'm sorry for the people that got slaughtered with the anti-Semitism in Australia. Thank you for your concern, but you know, I got to keep things in perspective here, but thank you. I don't care about Spike Lee. I'm not even going to talk about him. It's on the Kings players to do better. Doug can only say so much. Yeah, but if they're poorly coached, which I think they are, it's everything. It's not just the players. It's not just Doug. It's the whole ball of wax. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, is it not? I mean, you can't absolve Doug from this. You just can't. There's no way you can look at this and tell me that you think Doug Christie is a good coach. I'm sorry. You can't convince me of that. You just can't. It's embarrassing, actually. I mean, he's in so far over his head. It's so obvious to me. It's so apparent to me. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. How am I dealing with losing Kings teams years and years? I'm not part of the Kings anymore, so it doesn't bother me like it used to. I mean, I'm not happy they're losing. I'm not glad they're losing, but it doesn't bother me anymore. When I worked with the team and did the games, it bothered me. Now it doesn't really bother me. I do know Stephen A. Smith. He's always been very nice to me. Always been very nice to me. You know what? Listen, I don't know how Robert Saleh would be as a head coach. You know, not all great coordinators are good head coaches. There have been many that aren't. Why hasn't Doug been fired yet? A couple of reasons. Number one, they probably feel that at this point it won't matter. And number two, there's nobody that would want the job. And number three, there's nobody on the staff that they would do that to. That's probably why. But at the end of the year, there's no way he can be retained. Just not. I'm sorry. Just can't happen. And if it does happen, you're going to have another year next year like you're having this year. Can't happen. And again, Scott Perry didn't hire Doug. You always have to keep that in mind. He's the general manager. He's going to want his coach. Okay? He's going to want his own coach. This is not his coach. Love hearing my sports stories on the radio, Grant. It provides something else than basketball, and it's refreshing. Thank you. I have so many stories to tell, so I appreciate that. Thank you for listening. Be on tomorrow again, 3 o'clock, Fox Sports Radio, Sacramento. Check me out if you haven't already done so. 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Download the Fox Sports KSAC app. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, didn't you say you're running out of things to say? We need to talk more NFL and other sports. Yeah, I did. For the 49ers, if they make the playoffs, who do you think would be the best matchup first? I think the Bears would be. I think that'd be a good matchup for them. I would not want to take on a team in the NFC North, although I think without Parsons, Green Bay wouldn't be that wouldn't bother me. But I wouldn't mind playing if I'm the 49ers, I don't want to play Seattle and I don't want to play the Rams early. Get me the Bears. Said, I knew that this would be a brutal season for me. Diehard Raiders and Kings fan, going to have to show a lot of patience. Well, you've been patient. I don't know how much more patience you have. I really don't. Man. Said if the team was giving a good effort, that's one thing, but to focus on unloading bad contracts and malcontents, they are a disaster. They are. I don't know much about the new Sac State coach, so I can't really comment on that. Congratulations to him coming from the University of Arizona, but I don't know. I can't comment. I don't follow college basketball that much. Do I follow UC Davis with Mike Bibby? Yeah, I mean, I'm following the scores and everything, but I don't have enough time to follow it. I got so much on my calendar right now. It's very difficult for me to follow it the way you would think I should follow it. It's very difficult. Would I agree that most people from Chicago are completely rude? No, I would not agree with that. Just like I wouldn't agree most people from New York are rude. I think it's a stereotype. And no, I would not agree with that. Why do you say that, if I may ask? I'm just curious. Why would you say that? I'd rather play the NFC South winner, but going to be tough to finish with a 5th seed. I would agree. I mean, if Tampa wins and they're healthy, the moxie of Baker, I don't know. I think I'd rather play the Bears than the Buccaneers in the playoffs. Just because of the unproven nature of Caleb Williams compared to Baker Mayfield. I'm not so sure I would agree with you there, Scott. I think I'd rather play the Bears than the Buccaneers. I think I'd rather take my chances having Caleb Williams go against a Robert Saleh defense than Baker Mayfield, who they've already played once this year. Grant, I have Cowboys friends. They watch Arch Manning, and so his dad and grandfather want him to get drafted to the Cowboys. I don't know. I feel like Zach Lowe is always very critical of the Kings, but surprised to see how on point he is, even if he doesn't cover the team closely. Why are you surprised that he's very critical of the Kings? Name me one person of stature, of credibility, that's not critical of the Kings. If you're not critical of the Kings, you have zero credibility. Seriously. If you're not critical of the Kings, then you really have no credibility. Just none. No, I did not announce the Illinois team. I covered them when I was working at the ABC TV station in Central Illinois as a sportscaster. I did not announce their games. True, bad weather in January is tough in Chicago versus sunny in Tampa. Weather to me has nothing to do with it. The weather's irrelevant to me. Just nothing. I do believe in Trevor Lawrence. I believe in the Jaguars. I think they're a good team. Zach Lowe knows ball. He's very, very well respected. But again, name me a member of the national media that's not critical of the Kings. Local media is a bunch of cupcakes. It's a softball convention. I'm sorry, but it is. Softballs. National media? No. Local? Softballs. It's just a joke. I don't know why so many people are afraid to ask a tough question. I really don't. Damn, my Yankees need to sign a big free agent. They'll sign the wrong one. They'll give him too much money. Grant, if I'm Cincinnati, do I sit Joe Burrow for the rest of the season? No, I don't. You know? I don't. I play him. He's getting paid a lot of money. It's the entertainment business. If he's healthy, he plays. That's what you sign your contract for. All right? Bobby Marks has Trae Young to the Kings on his ESPN trade machine. And I will tell you that will be a disaster. That will be a disaster of epic proportions. If the Kings take Trae Young, that is a disaster. A disaster. Bad move. Do not get Trae Young. Do not. Would I consider announcing football, or do you not have the same passion for it? Yeah, I love announcing football. I've done it for a long time. I love announcing football. I have the passion for it. The only sport I wouldn't have the passion to announce would be baseball. It's too slow for my personality. Hockey I could do and would love to do. That would be my number one sport, and either basketball or football after that. What's a quick fix for the Kings? There is no quick fix. I really like Liam Cohen, Grant. I think the Jags have their man in place for the future. I agree with you, Cody. I agree with you. Which team is more frustrated, Yankees fans or Kings fans? You're kidding me, right? Like, what kind of question is that? You know, the Yankees have 27 world championships, right? I mean, really? Are we having this conversation? Stop it. Rams take the NFC? Not if they lose Thursday. I don't think they do. You know? Not if they lose Thursday. Love that take. Very cool. Which one? Which take? I mean, I have lots of takes. Which one are you referring to? Do I follow the San Jose Sharks? Somewhat. Celebrini, future superstar, sure looks like it. You know? Oh. My buddy, Drew, gifted me an autographed picture frame of you doing your first Kings game. Very cool. Wow. 1988. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Wow, 1988. Who's the more storied franchise, Dodgers or Yankees? Well, it's the Yankees. Come on. Why do road teams always spend a night in Sacramento instead of flying out after the game? Not all of them. Some do. East Coast teams do. Teams in the Central Time Zone do, but all the other teams don't. They all leave after the game. Unless they have a day off and they're going somewhere else rather than home, they might spend the night. But that's not true at all. They don't always spend the night in Sacramento. East Coast teams do. Central Time Zone do. Sharks up 2-0. Thank you for the update. Appreciate that. Thursday night games have looked pretty good this year, and the one coming up this Thursday is going to be a dandy. You know? What's got to be worth money? An autograph picture for me on opening night? I don't think so. Who in their right mind is going to pay for that? All right? Who on earth is going to pay for that? Tell me. Who's going to pay for that? Who? You're going to pay for an autograph picture? If that's the case, where do you want to meet in Sacramento tomorrow? I'll sign whatever. If you want to pay me, I'll sit out there all day and all night. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just having some fun. I have a friend. Well, who cares if you have a friend? They're not a more storied franchise. All you got to do is look at the history of the two franchises. I mean, the Yankees are the Montreal Canadiens. They're the storied franchise of Major League Baseball. You can't really dispute that. I'm not diminishing the Dodgers franchise. I'm not saying that they're not a great franchise over the history of their franchise, but you can't compare them to the Yankees. Broncos Chiefs, Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Cody. Merry Christmas. Do I think that Commissioner Stern would like the NBA Cup? Yeah, probably. He's all about growth of the sport. Probably. Probably. I would think so. I already had Mad Dog on. Had him on a couple weeks ago. And I've had him on this format too. Tell him, Grant. Yeah. There we go. Yes. Don't forget tomorrow. All right? Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Fox Sports Sacramento. All right? Fox Sports Sacramento. 3 o'clock. 3 to 6. Susan Waldman at 4 o'clock. Can't wait. Truly one of my favorite guests. Wait till you hear her stories tomorrow. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Truly amazing. We didn't ask if the Dodgers are a superior team now. That wasn't the question. Stop it. Good Lord. Karl Anthony Towns seems injured. Would be sad if players are injured in a meaningless cup game. It's not meaningless. The winner gets $500,000 apiece. What team would I like to watch the Giants go up against that they don't play that often? The New York Rangers. How's that for you? I don't know if I would bench two or not. That's tough for me to say. Tough for me to say. Grant, you're right about the Sacramento Kings organization. Vivek is a terrible leader. He had his daughter be a G League GM, which only lasted 6 months. It was a disaster. All right, a disaster. A disaster. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Love doing the show for everybody. So glad you're back. Since 1980, my two NBA teams have been the Clippers. Then in 94 came to Sac and saw a scrappy Kings team. The point is Ralph Lawler and Grant Napier made awful basketball okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got to go with the Rams for this reason. Sam Darnold has been terrible against the Rams in his last 3 outings. I just can't ignore that. I can't ignore that. I really can't. Which team's worse right now, the Jets or the Giants? The Jets, because they don't have a quarterback. The Giants have a quarterback. Speaking of that, you know what's interesting? This is unbelievable. I'm going to read this to you. I want to make sure I get the numbers correct. So give me a second here as I bring this up because I was blown away at this. So we talk about local ratings. Understand there's no local television in the National Football League. Okay? But what there is there are local TV ratings of the games that are on network TV. All right. So you get ratings for the local markets, but you don't have local TV. It's either Fox, CBS, NBC, or ESPN. Okay. So we do we understand that? So I saw local TV ratings news that I could not believe because you just asked me about the Giants or the Jets. So like a team like New England this year, you would not be surprised that the ratings in the Boston market are way up. As a matter of fact, it's been the biggest increase, okay? The biggest increase, up 34% over last season. Do you know what the biggest surprise has been this year with local ratings? This is unbelievable. The Giants right now have the worst record in the National Football League. They've been dreadful. Do you know that the Giants have the biggest increase, all right, in terms of bad teams? This is amazing. The viewership in New York for the Giants is up 20% over last year. 14 teams have an increase over last year. Of those, the Giants are up 20%. The Jets, meanwhile, are the biggest losers this year at 29%. And then you know who has the worst local ratings? That would be the Raiders, with only an average of 82,000 viewers in the Las Vegas market. Wow. How about that? Is Wemby taking over the game? Another reason why the Kings will never win a championship in my lifetime. Well, that's not the only reason. That's one of the reasons. Because Wembanyama is, if he doesn't stay hurt, is going to be playing for 15 years. 15. I could still be alive. I hope I live well into my 80s. A lot of time left in that game. I do think Don Mattingly's a Hall of Famer. I don't know why. I do think he's a Hall of Famer. Grant, is there any possibility in hell that if we continue to see the empty seats at Golden One Center, that he might relinquish some control? No, I don't see it. Not going to lie. Neighbors, Scatterboo, Dart, Lawrence, Burns, Thibodeau, Carter can be fun to watch. You can take Thibodeau in Denver. All right. I will drive him to the airport for you. And then I will fly and meet him in Denver, and I'll pick him up and I will have him meet you. Where do you want to meet him? I think Kayvon Thibodeau is so overrated. You can have him. I'll give him to you. Give me a second-round pick for him. Give me a third-round pick for him. You can have number 5. Go ahead. Put him on your great defense, Cody. Let him work on your great defense. Take him. Get him off my hands, please. Everyone else, I like. Path to a Kings championship. 29 other teams going out of business. I'm thankful the Jets and the Giants are on the same time in the New York market. Yours guaranteed a good matchup in the late window. Yeah, very true. Very true. Very true. By the way, thanks for the Vegas stay. Could have done without that. You mean the numbers, right? Yeah. Yes. Grant, I keep forgetting Buffalo and New York. You know people that like them and you think Josh Allen can take them to the promised land? I'm not sold on the Bills this year. They're so inconsistent. But, I mean, the AFC is up for grabs. It's really up for grabs. I mean, you have a dynamic quarterback in Josh Allen. You have history that works against them. Kansas City being out's good for them. If Baltimore's not in the playoffs, that's good for them. Could I see them beating New England? Yeah, they just did, but I wouldn't bet on that. Could I see them being Denver? I could. Denver's been a much, much more consistent team. Could I see them winning against Pittsburgh? Yes. Could I see them beating the Chargers? Yes. Could I see them winning against Houston? I don't like the matchup there. Jacksonville, they got as good a chance as anybody, I guess. You know? Is the Kings corporate office as dysfunctional as the front office? I have too many friends that work in the Kings corporate office. I'm not even going to go there. There are some very, very, very long tenured employees that do a great job. And there are some that have been long tenured that need a new career. Some are excellent and like our top shelf, and others shouldn't be there. That's how I would answer that question. That's how I would handle that. Let's see here. I think the Rams can win it all. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I missed This Week in Baseball and Mel Allen. How about that? How about that? The great Mel Allen. One of the best. One of the best. One of the best. This Week in Baseball. What a great show. I watched it every week. This Week in Baseball with Mel Allen. How about that? Rest in peace, Mel. And thank you. Thank you for making a 19-year-old student at Bowling Green State University and giving that individual a thrill of a lifetime. Thank you, Mel. I'll stick to my 21 win total for the Kings, trade or no trades. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Fox Sports Sacramento. And then I'll be right back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll do another show, 30 minutes, get in and out, just see what's going on, see what you want to talk about. Appreciate all the questions. And again, I appreciate your support. You're awesome. Love it. Don't forget tomorrow, Susan Waldman at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow. Do not miss that. I got This Week in Baseball song on my head now. Me too, Patrick. Me too. Is the dynasty of Kansas City over? I think it is. Yes. I think so. All right. Cody says, before the Sunday ticket, I would anxiously await NFL primetime coming on after the afternoon games. Me too. Always, Cody. Always. Always. Again, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Susan Waldman. Do not miss that interview. Trust me. Take care, everyone. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Have a great evening. Are you ready for Christmas? Come on. Ready for Christmas? Are we really having this conversation on the 16th of December? Am I ready for Christmas? It's light years away, ready for Christmas. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.